Good morning, everybody, and a very, very warm welcome to Ask the Accountant, episode number 182. The date is the 27th of April, 2026. I'm one of your hosts, Aaron Patrick, but with me is Mr. Johann Gorey. Before we go any further, let's do a quick shout out to welcome to Ask the Accountant, Bob the Ask the Accountant Network, a podcast network for accountants and bookkeepers supported by our Patreon community. Speaking of which, we start each and every show with a shout out to our coolest of cool listeners who are Paul Whitehouse, Kirsty St. John, Mahul, and Peter Richardson. They are our coolest of cool friends. And to get your name on that coveted list, then why not head over to our Patreon where you get access to bonus content and an opportunity to be on that list itself. Mr. Johann Gorey, you are not in your office, or have you changed your office? Has it changed once more? We're all on our edge of our seats. What is going on your end?
Yeah, so I'm in the. Apologise for any background noise you guys are hearing. I am in the Edinburgh Airport lounge. I'm on my commute down to my office down in Exeter. So I'm heading down to Exeter to work with the team down there at Roots to Growth for the next couple of days. So I looked at my travel options, as you do. I could either get a 9-hour train on cross country direct from Edinburgh to Exeter, which sounded awful, or I could hop along to the airport. That's 25 minutes down the road from me.
Yep.
Get on a little plane, and it's a very little plane.
Oh.
And end up in Exeter Airport an hour and 50 minutes later. So I thought, right, we'll commute by plane today then, shall we?
Right. And I assume there'll be a LinkedIn post explaining how, this is the way to do it. It's not,
Oh, this is the future. Give it a couple of weeks. I'll sort of private jet out. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, brilliant. So what else have we got to talk about today? Well, today is our big Accountex special. So it's not just me and Johann today. We've got another special guest. I'm going to bring her on in just a moment's time. For that, though, let's just make sure we've got all of the normal bits and pieces sorted. So we've got Cheryl here. Good morning. Lovely and sunny here in South Yorkshire. Hope you all managed some downtime over the weekend. Good to see that, Cheryl. Good to see that it's nice and lovely and sunny. Multiple Keeping says, good morning, all. Good morning to you too. Kirsty St. John says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kirsty. Hope you're doing well. Bookkeeping Superhero says, good morning, all. Good morning, Natasha. Hope you're doing well. Mahul says, good morning, everyone from sunny London. I hope everyone had a great sunny weekend. And then Lisa Mulland. Mullerland says, good morning. Oh, we got more coming through. Morning on from Glorious Henley says, Susanna Bookkeeping. And Steph says, morning, gents. I know Steph had a great weekend out singing her heart out to, what was it? One Direction, I believe it was, something along those lines. So that's good to see. Right, let me try and take off this one here and bring in our wonderful, fabulous guest, Rachel. Rachel, how are you today?
Hi, everyone. I am brilliant. So excited. Accountex is upon us. Thank you so much for having me this morning. And I'm tuning in from sunny Brighton.
Oh, how sunny we're talking? We're talking like proper, like, is this proper summer weather, or is it still a bit chill in the air?
There's still a chill in the air, but we have had a sunny weekend and it is blue skies again today. So fingers crossed, it's warming up.
Okay, I'm loving that. For anyone who doesn't know, Rachel is the Accountex portfolio for events over there. But do you want to tell the world yourself, like how long you've been in the industry for, all that sort of stuff? Who are you and why are you here?
Yeah, thank you so much. So I'm the event manager of Accountex UK, and I've worked on the show. I think I had to count because I couldn't believe how many years it had been. 9 years. So Diversified, who are the organisers of Accountex and many trade shows globally, acquired Accountex in 2016 when we were a very small footprint of what you see today. And yeah, I've been on the show from the get-go, and the show has over doubled in size. I live in Brighton with my husband Adam, and I've lived in Brighton actually 10 years this April. So yeah, that's gone very quick. Originally from Bexhill, and yeah, always been in sales. Always liked connecting with people, networking, learning, engaging, and then yeah, obviously my dream role came up at Diversified, and was made true when I started working on Accountex because, yeah, I have to say it's one of my favorite industries by far, a community like no other. So excited for the full circle moment of a full year's of solid hard graft coming together because we actually started organising Accountex on the 16th of May 2025.
No
That
way.
is how long it takes, guys.
That is amazing. That's amazing. And what other industries are you involved in? Is it just Accountex that you're working with in Diversify, or is there any other industry?
Yes. Yeah, no, just Accountex. So that takes up all my time, more than enough time. For London, then we've got Manchester in September, which is 15th September this year at Manchester Central. And then we run digital events. So when I first started on the show, it was just one show. So you'd deliver the show, you'd have that reset of the year. But actually now it's, when London has completed, it's then on to Manchester. When Manchester's finished, it's then on to digital. So just always spinning lots of plates keeps me busy, which is how I like it.
Love that. Love that. Now, before we talk more about Accountex, I do have a point to make. So you put up a post a couple of days ago talking about how you travel on the bus. I assume it's to the office. Is it? Is that what it was? Is that what the post was for? So you're doing your daily commute, no headphones, no distractions, and you're just sat there. Now, that to me sounds very, very, very scary. Talk to me how, what's the thought behind that? Because for me, I've just started getting back into swimming again, and the biggest problem about swimming is I have to be there in pure silence, and it scares the hell out of me. So talk to us through why, what, talk to me through, because this is a whole new world for us.
Yeah. I'm sure it is for a lot of people in today's fast-moving pace technology world. But no, I just like the peace. Like it just allows me to be at one with my thoughts. It allows me to get organized for the day. Like I'm also really into walking. So also on my walks, you may be surprised that I also walk in silence. And it's just great for kind of tidying the mind and getting set for the day. I love it.
Johann, what's your thoughts to this?
Well, put it this way. The wife was out at a friend's birthday party yesterday afternoon, and I realised actually I'm sat here watching TV and YouTube on my phone at the same time. Like, that's how much noise was going on. It's like, so I'm quite, in my mind, that's a lot of wasted time that I could have been listening to podcasts and YouTube videos and absorbing knowledge. But I can also appreciate why, actually, in today's world, taking time out and just going for a bit of peace and quiet to organise your thoughts. So I've got my pen and notepad in my bag. I'm looking forward to getting on the plane for an hour and 50 minutes and sitting there and writing out my thoughts because it will be relatively quiet. I mean, I'll probably have my headphones in, but in the grand scheme of things, that's background noise. It's like white noise to me now. Whereas, that would be relatively quiet for me. So I get that. But no, I felt odd last night because I walked the dog last night and I'd left my headphones at home. And it's like, it's a bit quiet. What a waste of 15 minutes. The dog was loving life. The dog had the best walk. But I'm sat there going, could have listened to a podcast in that time.
So, Rachel, with that in mind, was it your idea for the quiet area in Accountex? Because that's been a real hit, right? Like that idea that we now have that section where and like we love Accountex. We are one of the biggest like pushers of it, but it is by far the most overwhelming event in the industry, right? Because it's so big and everything else. But these little bits that you've been putting in through lately about like the quiet area and those chances to kind of have that bit more opportunity there. Like, was that one of your ideas?
Sadly not. It was lovely Caroline Hobden's idea. She is actually the vision behind many of the ideas you see on the show floor in terms of features. And she is a creative genius. She just comes out with these new ideas year on year. And I think it really adds in a fresh new perspective. There's always pockets of the show that are new and exciting, which I'm sure we'll get onto shortly. But no, that came from Caroline. It came from feedback that we had, received from a number of visitors at an advisory board we held a few years ago, which we used to do from time to time. time, and obtaining feedback from visitors. And the feedback was that, for people coming to the show that haven't been to the show before, it can be really overwhelming. And people that aren't used to that environment, aren't used to, the bright lights, the sound, etc. So we just felt that it was time in such a large show just to have a quiet, calming space with dimmed lights and headphones where people could just take 5-10 minutes, not to work, just to kind of, take themselves off the show floor, decompress, and allow them to have that space. So it's been incredibly popular. We are supported by our D&I partner, which is Edge of Difference. An incredible, lovely woman called Mo, who has supported us with this initiative and run the area. And we just get such great feedback. So so pleased that we did it, and it's here to stay, and we've got it again this year.
Love that, and it definitely is something that people absolutely love, right? Speaking of new innovations, FD Live, that's the new, or FD Show, should I say? That's the new section of Accountex this year. Talk us through like the idea behind it, what you're trying to get from it. Like, we love seeing, like you said there, the innovation that happens in the Accountex world, and this seems like quite an exciting new chapter, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's an idea that came up several years ago, and because we, of course, predominantly serve accountants in practice, but 35% of our audience are finance directors, CFOs working in business. So we've always had one dedicated theatre for that side of our community. And over the years, we kind of have welcomed more and more exhibitors that target both sides of the audience. And with the natural increase of visitor numbers, so we grow our visitor numbers by 7 to 10% every single year, which is absolutely incredible. And we're so thankful for the support, but we just felt it was time that we had more in the show for them, and a more hyper focused area where they could, essentially walk the show floor, service new products and solutions, and know that there's a dedicated hyper focused area just for them. And the response has been absolutely incredible. We've got nearly 60 exhibitors. We've got 3 theatres with dedicated content. And so I feel like it definitely was the right time to launch. There definitely is a need for the FD show. And it's still one big show, as Accountex has always been. So it's still the show everyone loves, but it's just a hyper-focused area, 60 exhibitors, 3 theatres, and it's got its own coloured carpet, it's got its own entrance, it's got its own website, its own branding, but it's still, Accountex as we all know and love, but just with that, added benefit and interest for accountants in industry.
I love that. Are you allowed to say what the coloured carpet is?
Yes, it's orange, which is part of our branding colours. So so you're really going to notice, the blue to the orange. It's going to be very vibrant. We've got some amazing exhibitors, the likes of ADP, Metro Bank, Crow. So many brands, jumped on board to support us and support the launch, which we couldn't be more thankful for. So so we're just so excited to see it all come together live in action.
Love that. And Johann, I mean, for us, that means we get to do a whole new section of the grid wall, right?
Well, I was just thinking, so Rachel, is this space repurposed from the same floor space, or is it new floor space?
A bit of both. So this is actually, we did grow the floor plan this year by about 3 aisles of space. So this is actually our biggest ever show to date. So it was a bit of both with the FD show.
Right. So bigger space. Last year was a record number for attendees. What was that amount of attendees over 2 days?
So we received or welcomed over 16,000 physical bodies in the hall over the 2 days, which results in 12,000 unique visitors, which was by far our biggest show ever.
And what's the target for this year?
Target is always the same. Marketing like to take a conservative approach, but I like to think we increase that every year, which generally we do. 7 to 10% is what we have hit year on year for increase in visitor numbers. We have got 2 entrances this year, which will really help with traffic flow and getting people into the halls quicker. So if you are queuing outside S3 or just as you come in Custom House, just know you can also access S4 is our second entrance, which is just further on, and that is for, you know, all of our visitors. So hopefully everyone will get in nice and quick, and they'll be able to, you know, utilize the extra time by walking the show floor or getting the front row seat in that seminar that they've got planned.
And just to clarify, that S4, is that technically the FD branded
Yes.
entrance? Yeah, yeah. So
Yes,
that's like
the
a
tech.
little hack, right? Like you can also access via. Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
amazing.
I'm just going to put it out there, guys. 12,000 people, that justifies a 2-day event. Right. Like other events, you think, do I need 2 days here? Probably not. But yeah, 12,000 people, that is a 2-day event right there. Yeah, and I love the fact that you do these quiet rooms. Personally, it's not for me. Like people like myself and Aaron come along to these events, and this is our drug of choice. Like we're like, go on, make it busier, make it louder, make it more exciting. This is our, like, we rock up the day before and we go home knackered 3 days later because it's been such a high adrenaline time. But it's great that you are covering and making it approachable for so many, and that I think that really helps with your numbers. I think that's a really good way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Over the years, we have made a conscious effort to make these changes, like to the quiet room. We have BSL signers in some of our theatres. You know, we have a hearing loop system. We invested in the All You Say technology, which I have to say was groundbreaking. No event in the UK had invested in such technology, and the fact that visitors can come to the show with their own headphones and have a crystal clear sound of the theatres and a live stream is just incredible. So yeah, so we are making changes. We're listening to feedback constantly. That's how we develop the show year on year. Feedback from exhibitors, speakers, visitors, and then implementing these changes. We just want it to be as inclusive and accessible for all, which hopefully the changes we've made over the years makes sure it is.
Yeah, I think there was an education piece last year, and any listeners today need to bear this in mind. When you take your own headphones to these events, it is phenomenal. But people were saying to me, "Oh, there was a bit of a lag between what they were saying and what was coming to my ears." Like, you know, Sky Sports has a 1 minute lag, right? Like when someone's kicked that football, it happened a minute ago in real time. By the time it gets up to the satellite, down to your dish and through to your ears, you know, it's got a big gap. And I think there's just a lot of people that go, "Oh, is it not instant?" Like, no. Even Sky Sports isn't instant. Like there is a lag, especially if you're watching it on the internet. And if you watch a proper TV versus iPlayer or something, there's a lag. So yeah, it's one of those things that, especially since I've been in the software world, you kind of go, I thought everybody knew that. And actually you realize everyone doesn't know that. And you do have to educate them on stuff like that. So yeah, the overall feedback that we heard about those headphones being just taking your own headphones and stuff was phenomenal. And you know what? I also thought, well, it does some of the exhibitors who give out like free headphones and stuff a bit of an easier excuse to doing branded headphones, because otherwise you kind of go, okay, I've got some branded headphones, they sit on my shelf and then they go in the bin. They never get used. But actually now, if I use them for 2 days, I've had, you know, a slightly less environmental impact, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
So you were speaking there about inclusivity and having people like all walks of life and everything else. I think one thing that definitely cements that is how many speakers you've got this year, and new speakers as well. And I can only imagine, because I'm like, you know, outside looking in and like tinfoil hat moment. But the amount of people I've spoken to, and the nice by way, it was like, oh, I wasn't even able to get my, you know, my talk that I wanted to do wasn't even accepted, right? Like and they got opportunity to do other things, but you know, they weren't things. So it seems like more than ever, you've had like a massive amount of speakers interested in doing it than ever, which is great for the industry, right? But what's it been from your end? Has it been an easy or hard way of getting the kind of speaker lineup settled this year?
It's always one of the most mammoth tasks. It takes months and months of solid hard work. It's such a huge content program, and this year is actually our biggest content program ever. We have, more speakers than ever before, more sessions than ever before. But yeah, it's a really hard job, and I have to say, shout out to Caroline because she does it flawlessly. She is so approachable. She's so um, you know, she's so good at giving her time to new speakers or anyone that wants to call with her, even though she's so incredibly busy. And she, along with the steering committee, absolutely nail the program every single year. And they always make sure we have a real good mix of diverse, inclusive sessions, hitting topics, but also fresh new speakers. And one of the hardest jobs about that whole process is saying no to people because we get some of the most incredible sessions, but we can't house them all. We receive over 500 applications. So it is incredibly difficult. I think 50% of the applications aren't accepted. That's how fierce the competition is. And it's not that the steering committee or Caroline are looking at, they don't look at who's an exhibitor, who's spoken before. It is literally just purely based on the topics and the content and the experience of the speaker that has submitted the application. But one of the hardest jobs is saying no because there's some credible content coming in, but unfortunately if you've got 10 applications all on the same subject, you've got to pick the highest rated application with the steering committee and say no to the other 9. So it's a really hard job, but Caroline's very passionate about making sure that everyone has a platform and in particular introducing new speakers to the stage, which just warms our heart so much. Like we get such incredible feedback from people that have never spoken at the show before, are absolutely petrified of doing it, but they're doing it. They're putting themselves forward because they want to inspire, they want to educate, they want to share their experience. And then after they've done it, they're like, oh my God, thank you so much for giving me that platform. It was amazing. And we've seen a lot of speakers who are some of the, incredible faces that you see in the accounting and finance community today who have gone on to be professional speakers that now, charge for speaking gigs. And it all started at Accountex. So it is the most, rewarding job, but can be the hardest for sure.
Yeah, 100%. We have seen so many examples of those people who've got that first one because there are a lot of them. Well, they'll come to people like myself and and be like, right, I've got to speak at this event. What do I do? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how do I prepare myself and everything else? But you're right. Second that they've got on there, second that they've kind of started that first sentence, you can see it in their eyes, like how much that meant to them and how much that came through. So, yeah. So you spoke about the new speakers and everything. Any other new things coming? We've got the FD show. Is there anything else we should be keeping our beady eyes out for?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have some incredible new features this year, which is definitely something to check out. We actually have a features page on our Accountex and FD show website. So there is always new features, but we have got for the first ever time an AI advisory hub, which I'm so excited about. In Diversified, we use Claude, which is absolutely brilliant. And I'm just really excited to see what questions come up, how people are using it, what their focus is for the year. So the AI Advisory Hub is run by Dan Broyles from Hello Collective, and we've even got Lenovo coming as well, and possibly a few other big names that are literally going to be able to talk to visitors and show them the latest developments in AI. So I'm very, very excited about that. We also have the return of our Bookkeepers Base Camp, which we've done for a number of years now, and it's always very, very popular. But we've given it a bit of a refresh this year. So we have got some mini, what we're calling Bookkeepers Circle talks, where there's a number of incredible, inspiring, influential speakers delivering kind of 20-minute talks in that area. So that's a bit of a refresh refresh as well, which is great. We've got HMRC that are back again this year, and they've got their MTD hub, but they've actually got a new area, which is a customer service desk, which is completely new for this year. They're on stand 994, and essentially you don't have to book an appointment. So how great is that? Everyone's experience, hanging on the line for sometimes hours, or kind of queuing to speak to someone. But yeah, like no appointments, just real practical guidance. So we're very excited to see how that unravels. We've also got the headshot guy, which some people may remember. We have had him before at Accountex. So if you want to update your LinkedIn profile picture, head to the headshot guy. That's a great opportunity there. But yeah, I could go on and on. There's honestly so many new features and hubs, as well as new returning features that have had a refresh. Our sustainability zone, that's right at the front of the show, that's got a whole new concept this year. We've also got a new wellness retreat area where you can speak to an expert and have a bit of a private one-to-one with them in a lovely igloo to kind of get real kind of advice in a private setting. There's lots of pockets of the show that's new, lots that's returning, that's had a refresh. So lots to explore.
So exciting. And I can't wait to do the grid walk this year because we've got the new FD area, but also now we've got all these new areas to look at as well. So really, really excited. Jan, anything else your end that you wanna prize?
No, we've been busy talking Accountex at TaxCap and Engager for the last 6 months, looking at stand designs and swag and objectives and stuff like that. And yeah, we're really, I've seen the stand for Accountex for TaxCap and Engager. It is phenomenal. Like, so excited to have that stand. So yeah, absolutely buzzing. Can't wait to get on with it. Like, I've got a really busy month of traveling, but the highlight is literally mid-May for the week in London for Accountex. Like, yeah, just so excited for that big event. That event's led to so many things in my career, in mine and Aaron's careers together. You just never know what's going to come out of it. Like, it was outside the Fox several years ago now that Aaron and I sat down and had a pint and decided to do this podcast. So, yeah, you just don't know what you're going to get from Accountex in a really good way. Like, yes, you go and see the exhibitors. Yes, you go and see the speakers. That's kind of the given. But the actual outcomes, you just don't know. That's why you've got to go, for the opportunities to find you. So yeah, just really excited to get down there and see what 2026 has got in store for us all.
And speaking of the idea that we've got the Fox and everything else, do we have any word from your end of what the official after parties for Accountex are going to be this year? Do we know?
I'm not sure if it's common knowledge yet, but yes,
Okay.
we do have a socials page launching very soon. And I can share that Intuit QuickBooks have got the Fox for an after party on day one. And then there are other events within the show before the show closes, before the end of day one, and as well as maybe a few other kind of parties that will be around. So do keep an eye on our website. We will be launching the socials page, which has all of the information of what you can get involved in and what you can attend around the show, and that will be launching ahead of the show. So hopefully in the next week or so. Our marketing team are just getting it all together now.
Amazing. Oh, well, wow. I mean, I know Intuit have been wanting the Fox for a long time. So, yeah, that must be a small victory for them as well. Excellent. So, Rachel, I don't know if you want to stay around for the rest of the show because we're going to talk, industry stuff and everything else. So have you got time to stay, or do you need to jump off? It's completely up to you.
Yeah, no, I've got time to stay.
Amazing.
Yeah, if you'd like me to stay, of course.
Of course. But before you do, it's customary, you have to play our little game. So you didn't have the opportunity to be pre-warned about this one, but you've got the chat to help you, and you've got Johann, as much use as Johann is, but you've got Johann to help you as well to go there. Are you aware of our little game?
No, I'm kind of familiar. I've heard of these cards that people get awarded, but you might have to refresh my memory.
So Caroline played this when she was on last year. So we've got 5 cards in front of us. You're allowed to ask me any questions you like, but the trick is I'm only allowed to say yes or no. And you've got to try and guess who these cards are. Now, there's a theme to this, and I think you'll probably guess the theme pretty early on what the theme is. But you've got to try and guess. So pro tips, try and figure out, like, at the very beginning, is it a person? Is it not a person? Because we don't just have people on these cards. And then try and go down those sort of routes from there. Are you ready to play our silly little game?
Yes.
Brilliant. I would say I'm ready, but I can't find. Oh, my phone's here. I need to put the thing on because the most important thing that you've got to do is there a chance you can beat Caroline's the time? That's going to be on everyone's lips, right? So, Rachel, you can play our silly little game and ask me any question you like, starting now. Go for it. Who's on my card?
Are they a speaker?
No, they're not a speaker.
Oh. Are they from London?
No, not that I'm aware of. I think they might be very close to you, from what I can tell.
Okay. Are they in accounting?
No.
Is it Fatboy Slim?
Great question. Go from there. The chat's saying, are they a software provider?
Okay.
So, no, they're not a software provider.
They're not a software provider. Okay.
They're very, very close to you, like super close to you.
Okay. Oh God, this is tough now. Why did I stick around? I'm going to do terribly at this. Have they been to Accountex?
Very much so been to Accountex, yeah.
Okay.
Some
Is
might
it
say
John
they may be
Oakley?
Accountex.
Is it John Oakley? He lives around the corner from me,
Not
actually.
John Oakley.
No, not John Oakley. Is it Future
Much closer
Lee
to
by
you.
Sage?
Much closer to you.
Much closer. Oh God. Is it Stuart Hurst?
No, much closer. Some
Oh,
would say
we
in the
might
same
be here a
office.
while. In the same office. Is it Caroline Hobden?
It certainly is. That's number 1 done. Right, okay. Next one.
Okay. Do they have brown hair?
Don't have any hair.
Don't have any
Not in
hair.
that there's no hair whatsoever.
No hair whatsoever. Oh, okay.
Can you see the chat? There might be some helps there.
Oh, where is the chat? Da-da-da. Oh, people guess Caroline quite easy. That's good. It's just me that took ages. Oh, okay. Are they an event?
They are an event. What event could it be?
Oh, is it the lovely PJ & Co. accounting lunch?
No.
Oh,
Further
okay.
north from that.
North from that. Is it Accountex?
It's Accountex. There we are.
Yay!
Next one. You got 3 more to go. Smashing it.
Might be here a while. Oh, okay. Another one. Do they work in bookkeeping?
This person does not work in bookkeeping, no.
Are they on TikTok?
Yes, very much so.
Is it Rachel Harris?
It certainly is. I was going to give you a clue. It was the same name. 1 more to go. 2 more to go.
2 more to go. Oh, is this a business that we all are connected with?
Very much so. Yeah.
Is it HMRC?
No, not HMRC.
Okay.
I'll give you a clue though. They're on your. They'll be on your show floor.
Is it Tax Calc?
It's very close to Tax Calc. Very, very close to Tax
Oh,
Calc. Like couldn't be
0?
any closer. Even closer to Tax Calc.
Oh, okay. Advanced Track? No.
Maybe owned by the same company as Tax Calc. Maybe Tax Calc even own them.
Oh, is it oh. I know Workio?
No,
No.
it might be in the chat.
Oh, might be in the chat. Okay. Oh, Engager.
Yeah.
Of course. There we go.
One more to go. And this is a very hard one because it's a rookie card. I don't even have the card in front of me. I'm playing my own game, but this card will be released at Accountex.
Oh, okay.
So you get the exclusive first look at it.
Oh, is it an event at Accountex?
Not an event,
No. Is it a new product launch?
not a product.
No. Is it to do with who you're interviewing on Ask the Accountant
We
podcast?
have interviewed in the past, and this is a big clue for you.
Oh, is it me?
No, it's not you. Sorry.
No.
But it is a
Sorry,
big
someone
clue.
just. Oh, is it Phil Hobden?
It's Phil Hobden's first ever
Yay!
card. Go from there. So 4 minutes 46. Very well done. Unfortunately, you did beat Caroline. I won't say what Caroline had. That's absolutely fine.
Oh.
But very well done. How do you think you did in your first ever go at the Top Trumps game?
I don't think I did that great, but we got there in the end. I mean, 4 minutes
Okay.
feels quite a long time, but hey, there we go.
Anything below 5 minutes is a win in my eyes. So you got below
Okay.
got below the 5 minute mark, so that's the most important thing. And go through from there. Awesome. So thanks everyone for helping Rachel out as well. Right, let's get on with the rest of the show. Then we've got some juicy topics to talk about. And Rachel, do jump in and give us your thoughts on some of these topics that we're going along. So first and foremost, let's cover this one. Let's talk about Intuit and Claude, because you said you use Claude, don't you? Yeah, in Diversify.
Yes.
So you guys are using Claude. Have you heard that Intuit and Claude have now got together and have started basically a brand new partnership? This partnership, I'll just read the kind of press event that came out, and then we can talk about it more. Suzanne, so the CEO of Intuit, said, "I'm thrilled to share the power of Intuit platform from TurboTax, Credit Karma, and QuickBooks MailChimp, and our Intuit Enterprise Suite is now live with Claude." Basically, he goes on to say how it's not just a partnership, but it's a multi-year game-changing partnership. They're bringing together AI agents with fundamental redefine the mid-market business, and basically they're talking about how within Claude itself you can now connect Intuit directly to it, and you get access to wonderful things. Now, full disclosure, I had a play with this at the weekend. I did a whole video on it, so I'll keep my opinions to myself. But Rachel, you're a guest. What do you think about this idea? You're using Claude a lot. The idea that Intuit itself can now connect to Claude, do you see that as do you have any opinions on what could that bring?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's amazing. It's incredible development for QuickBooks. I think it's going to just help people like speed up their workload even faster. And, the reason why QuickBooks is so successful is that they're constantly listening to feedback and developing the product, launching new products, and that innovation is there. So I think it makes sense. It's a natural next step in the world we're living in. And yeah, I just can't wait to try it out.
Awesome. And what's your opinion on Claude then? Do you ever get to use ChatGPT at the same time? Is there kind of like do you ever compare the two?
I have used ChatGPT before we embarked on the journey of Claude,
Yeah.
and every AI tool has its strengths. So ChatGPT is better on the more kind of design creative side. However, Claude was deemed as a more ethical kind of platform. So I think it depends on your company core values, your usage.
Yeah.
But yeah, Claude works really well for us as a business. But we have appointed an AI team that's based in our head office in Portland in the US, and they did a lot of intensive research on all the AI tools that were on the market, and Claude was the one that we chose as it kind of aligned with our core business values and was the best tool for us for the use case, essentially.
I love that. And I love the fact that, as accountants, we can listen in on you guys basically doing the hard work for us, evaluating it for us, and coming out and saying, actually, this is good, this is the right fit for you. Yeah, and what's your opinion on this Claude and Intuit platform partnership going together?
Yeah, I love how these companies like Intuit are going. this is a multi-year partnership. No, Claude have made you sign a multi-year contract. Let's stop marketing spinning it, and you will do what you're told by Claude, because Claude is the bigger company here. Now, Intuit won't come across that very often, but it's a different dynamic for them. But yeah, look, I've not played with it. I saw it came out over the weekend. I looked to check that it wasn't just marketing hype, which we all know certain softwares can be culprits of. But yes, if you go into the Claude apps area, you can link Credit Karma, tax, TurboTax and stuff, and Intuit QuickBooks. I've not played with it yet, but from what I'm seeing on social media and stuff, it's early days. So we'll see what happens. We all know that the more data we can put into Claude, ChatGPT, like the more powerful it becomes. Like everyone used to talk about second brains. Well, actually, in theory, there's lots of brains. Like I've got my financial data over here in QuickBooks or Xero or wherever. I've got all my meeting notes over here in Claude. And if that can all feed into one data processing center and spit things out, then all the better. So yeah, one to watch. Let's see what happens. And my only concern here is, and we'll have to wait for your video to come out to see what's happened, but my concern is here, QuickBooks made the announcement, Xero followed up with an announcement. Have QuickBooks released their classic minimum viable, actually useless product to get the marketing spin ahead of Xero, Sage, etc., launching products with Claude and ChatGPT and stuff? That's my only hesitation, is that it is too minimal on day one, and actually, instead of trying to get the jump on everyone else, they should have just released a better product. But as I say, I've not tested it yet. I'm just going off the usual behavior of Intuit. So we'll wait to see your thoughts and videos on that. But yeah, have you got any thoughts you can share with us and the audience to start with?
Yeah, first of all, I'm surprised. Am I surprised now with the pace of change at the moment, with how quick this announcement and then actual product was released? Because we're still waiting on the ChatGPT one, which, when you normally look at like the ChatGPT kind of ecosystem and how quick OpenAI has been at like innovating and bringing stuff to the table, we've said a lot of times, haven't we, where we've watched some of their shows on their latest innovation. At the very end, they're like, oh, by the way, it's live now. Do you know, which is a complete change of pace to what we're used to in the software industry normally, right? Like normally, we'll watch these events, they'll talk something through and they'll be like, yeah, open beta starts now and it's released X amount of time down the line. So I was, ChatGPT's taken its time for OpenAI. They announced their partnership with Intuit way longer than Claude did, yet we still don't have any tangible things to play around with.
Yeah, I think that goes back to my original point, though, was OpenAI aren't going to be doing anything with QuickBooks. OpenAI will be like, yeah, here's the plug. You build your plug and plug it in and get on with it. Like, that's like Engage is saying, well, we worked really closely with Xero and QuickBooks to get, like, no, they're big boys. They've turned around and said, well, this is our API. This is what you can and can't do. You carry on and do what you want. It's not a working relationship. It's not a two-way thing. It is and that's why I say Intuit and Xero are not in charge or equal partners in these relationships. They are just sitting there and going, oh, we'll plug into the wall. Like someone building an app to go on the Apple store or the Android store. It's not a collaboration. It's not a partnership. You can market it as that, but it's not really. This is just someone plugging in and using Claude or OpenAI thing. So I'd argue it's probably actually QuickBooks has prioritized the Claude integration over OpenAI. And it would be interesting to know why they've done that. Have they seen a shift in the market? Have they responded to that shift that you and I have spoken about in the past, where we feel Claude has actually got ahead in the professional market? So yeah, it would be interesting to get that, but sorry, I'll let you carry on.
No worries. I believe the OpenAI is a true partnership as well, and I believe that Claude partnership is equal, but we're going to wait and see functionality, right, until we actually understand exactly what they're going to do. But for now, you can go into Claude, you can connect up QuickBooks, and you can start pulling data. I think my only criticism at the early stages, and look, the pace of change means this is going to get fixed in no time, right? But at the moment, yes, you can pull data out, and yes, it can do a really good analyze of that data and give you some really good insights, and looks at cash flow, looks at all sorts of things, and replicates like really nice P&L ledgers and all sorts within the product. So it's doing really well of kind of grabbing that data and going from there. But either by design or it's just not been thought about yet. It shouldn't, or it doesn't have the capability, should I say, of properly posting transactions. So you think about API and all that sort of stuff. If you want to post a transaction to QuickBooks, use the API and it goes in there and everyone's happy. So you want to create a transaction, it can put it in, and it has this two-way conversation that goes through from there. For some unknown reason with Claude at the moment, you can say, oh, can you add this transaction for me? And it'll go, yeah, of course I can. Leave me to it. And it goes off and it tells you that it's done it. You then go do the audit trail and you go and look at what transaction's been posted, and either it's completely failed to post it or it's posted a really weird transaction that doesn't quite fit. And I think what's happening here is that AI hallucination that we've all experienced, right? And it doesn't have that full capability to actually go and actually create the transaction. And when you can see it in the video, when I deep dive into it and find out, well, what's happening here, it was using the CSV tool to actually add the transaction as CSV and actually put it through from there, which, causes a lot of kind of headaches and issues and problems because you don't have that ability to be able to check it or anything like that. And if it comes up with a fail in Claude's eye, it doesn't know there's a fail, so it believes it's posted it. So there's, it in this early stage, the dream of, let Claude kind of, connect one data set to another data set and get that into our QuickBooks or Xero, whatever solution now, isn't quite there. And I've shared this with you off air, but I'll share with the rest of the team now, the rest of the thing. It says one of my favorite sassiest moments that Claude ever came back with me. It says, I'm useful for looking at P&L reports, period comparisons and benchmarks on data that's already correctly posted, but the import tool isn't giving me the categorization control needed for clean books. Given, Aaron, that you're a chartered accountant and QuickBooks trainer, you'll spot dodgy categorization faster than I can flag anyway. Basically telling me I should be doing it myself, which I thought was a really sassy comment that comes back. Rachel, have you ever had sassy comments from Claude? Has Claude been sassy to you? Because I would say OpenAI and ChatGPT has never really directly been sassy to me. It's just kind of like apologized to me. But Claude seems to have a bit of sass about it. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, no, I do think Claude does have some sass for sure. But I think the comment it came back with once that I found quite amusing was I was doing some reporting and it had got the what I was asking it to do wrong, and I checked it and was like, oh, Claude, you've got this wrong, and it was like, oh, sorry, yeah, I lied. And you're just like, what did Claude just say? And open up the fact that Claude just lied. So yeah, no, it definitely everything has to be checked still. Like, you still obviously need that human touch, that eye to detail, but for speeding up and having real insight, it's in reporting and market intelligence, I think is incredible. But yeah, everything still needs to be checked because Claude does lie.
It does, doesn't it? It likes to hallucinate. But we're still early days in this whole world, right? Like, we weren't using Claude probably a year ago. Like, we're still figuring this all out and everything else. And I'm impressed with the connection and the idea and the end goal that they're trying to achieve on this. I just feel at this moment we're really, really early days. And sometimes I think that we forget to put like a beta sign up sometimes. And that the danger of not having a beta, flag on this functionality is people are going to try it and they're going to probably get into the same issues that I've had. And the worst thing that can happen then is you go, oh, well, I'm probably not going to use that now because it's not hitting my expectations. I had exactly the same with Canva this weekend, where Canva's released their brand new, they call it Canva 2.0. And they're like, look, this is going to replace ChatGPT and Claude in your workflow. Like, this is the the new standard for how you can like create images and everything else and you do it directly in Canva, and you can edit straight away. And on paper, sounds amazing, right? But I went in, I tried this 2.0, went in, asked it to generate something, and it just didn't do a very good job. And now that it's kind of tainted my kind of use case of it, I probably will never go back to it again. I'm probably going to stick with a tool that I know can do the job, because that's going to be more efficient for me, right? And I feel like that's the danger we have here. If we don't nail that first time, customer expectation right at the very offset, the danger is we don't get any uptake on it properly, and it just it never really gets to where it needs to be. And you've had this time and time again, haven't you, with these?
Yeah, mainly in QuickBooks. Like they launch something so they can market it, and then it's actually not a viable enough or powerful enough features at the start. And this is something I push back with. I speak to a lot of software companies and they ask me for my advice on a lot of things, and I always push back going, are what you were planning to launch as a first phase, like Engager, absolutely, we do things in phases, but we always challenge ourselves is phase one a powerful enough product to justify people's time and energy in testing it? And is it going to give them the outcomes that keeps them using that product? And not enough software companies do that. A lot of them just go like, oh, we've got AI. Actually, it's skin deep, and it doesn't really do anything that I couldn't have done by just logging in and looking over a screen myself. And you kind of go, you're just doing it for the marketing power. And where's the real value? So like, whenever anyone puts anything to me like, oh, we're going to use AI to do this, like I really push them on where's the end, what's the value for the user? Like, is there actually any value, or is it just a button which has got the word AI in to keep people happy with marketing and stuff? Like, yeah, the minimum viable product thing just it bugs me. Like, how many times have we seen like QuickBooks in 2018 or something? They launched their first integration of a practice management tool built in. It just never got any further development because it didn't get any uptake, but it didn't get any uptake because it hadn't been developed enough. Like it is a catch-22, and it is a spiraling circle of doom for them. But softwares just need to make sure they're not going for the marketing gimmicks, and they're actually delivering a tangible value where users go, okay, that's cool, I'll use that again. And I'm now looking forward to what else have these guys got lined up to evolve this phase one even further. But yeah, phase one has still got to deliver value and benefits other than your marketing team having something new to chat about.
Yeah, I think the benefit of this one is a true partnership. So both Claude and Intuit are both working together, and I think the fact that there's that whole
it's not a true partnership because QuickBooks are paying Claude, surely.
No, apparently it's both ways, right? There's a partnership both ways.
Claude are paying them as well.
That's what the OpenAI one, wasn't it? It was definitely a true partnership where it was kind of like there was this cost involved and everything else, and both parties get to it. But I do feel like
I'd love to see the detail to prove that.
But I do feel like with the Claude one that there's going to be more excitement around the connection to things like Credit Karma and TurboTax and the whole ecosystem. I feel like that, and I know that will be very US centric as opposed to what we're going to get in the UK, but I think that's where the excitement's going to see, is the fact they get to bring all of that ecosystem into play, which is really like unique, right? Normally you don't get to have like one connector can have access to all this wonderful data. But that raised a good point there about the idea of having like these gimmicks and everything in AI. Rachel, I think this is where like Accountex are coming to the forefront of being able to show people that it's not just gimmicky by having those things like that AI base camp you were telling, oh, not base camp, the AI center,
advisory hub.
Advisory hub,
yeah, exactly. And I think like no one has the time to research all these products and services. Like we have the biggest exhibition, not just in London, not just in the UK, but actually in the world for this sector, which is incredible. And we are, so proud and of all the incredible brands that will be showcased at this year's show. And I think you've both touched on a really important point. And it actually, some of the companies we're working with that are startups or that are coming to the show for the first time, it's a massive deal for them. They have
Yeah.
spent years developing these products and services. And actually, you're right, if it's not where it needs to be, it can completely put people off. So I think it's just, the investment is massive. The exhibitors, put throw everything at Accountex, and we're so privileged to have so many incredible brands, products, and services returning and new to the show. But it's a really big deal. Their products and service and business essentially is up for scrutiny. Can't say that word, scrutiny. I don't know why I've just said that again. Can't say it, but you know what I mean. But no, it's the pressure is there. Like, and what do you do if you've spent years developing a product and service and Accountex is coming up and your product isn't quite there? Do you have to pivot, I guess, and change your messaging. Of course, it's still great for marketing and data collection, but there is a lot of pressure on the development teams of our exhibitors to make sure they've got their product, 100% there or 80% there to take to market. Which is really interesting from their perspective.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's where the strength of having 16,000 people at the event, right? Because we've heard many a times where, people have been sat in the audience, like listening to, what, latest innovation of this or that, or, there was a time where people were just sticking the word AI onto something, and it was kind of like that will do sort of thing. And like you said there, Nat, the expectations are so much higher and everything else. And that's because I think as an industry, one of the unique things we have is it's not just the strength of the vendors, it's not just the strength of the speakers, but I think the people that you bring to that even though it's a huge number, very, very, they can smell when things are going to be told to them. They can believe in. They can understand when things are being told when they're not quite 100% happy with. And I think that's just raised the game, right? Like everyone now is on their toes. They know they can't just put marketing spiel out there for the sake of marketing spiel. They've got to bring substance to it. And I think that's where having a hub, having interactive demos, having the opportunity to showcase it. And I think what really, really helps is you're normally going to have someone in that audience who's been there, done that, got the t-shirt, who's come along because they want to know a little bit more, but they've actually already implemented it in their practice, or they've played around with it, or whatever it's going to be. And I think that's one of the things that Accountex brings to the table, is that uniqueness of it's not just, it's the community around it, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's that market research, from a visitor's perspective, but also a brand's perspective. How do our existing customers feel about our product? What's missing? What's their pain points? And, for the visitors, they can get all of their questions answered and actually speak to a team face to face. And that is just a game changer. I'm very old school. I prefer to go and speak to someone in a bank than phone my bank, which I know sounds ridiculous, but I actually just prefer that human interaction. I prefer that customer service. I don't like hanging on the automated line saying, oh, talking to a AI person, and I just want to speak to someone, a real person. But even better when it's face to face and you can just literally pour out all your feedback and ask your questions, which is probably a top tip actually for coming to the show. Is do a plan of what brands you want to go see, what speaker sessions you want to go to, and what questions you have. What is your practice or business pain points? What are you trying to solve? What would you like to invest in? Just think about those kind of questions, because the shop floor is your time to gather all that important research.
Definitely. Now, we've just got time to quickly bring in the final comment of the show, but Rachel, prepare yourself, because I'm going to throw it back to you afterwards. for how to let people know how to get involved and get themselves signed up for Accountex 2026. So first of all, Sam Green says, morning all, t-shirt weather here in Sheffield. I'm very excited for Accountex in a couple of weeks. So yeah, we're excited to see you there, Sam. Mahul says, I first attended Accountex in 2024 and I'm now loving it. So we've got a repeat customer there that couldn't be more excited. Kirsty St. John says the lag is fine. I understand that but it does throw your mind when your eyes and ears are not synced. So just feedback on the hearing and the headphone side of things. And Nicola Gardner says, excited for accountants. Natasha says, looking forward to speaking both days at Accountex this year. Love this event. And Sue Green says, morning, see you at Accountex. Cool. Rachel, plug away. How can people still get involved in Accountex? I assume there's still tickets still left. If so, how can they get involved?
Yes, absolutely. Do register ahead of the show at www.accountex.co.uk. Be sure to look out for the show app, which will be launching very, very soon in the next week or so. That is your ultimate tool for planning and scheduling what sessions you want to go to, having a look for exclusive offers of what brands have got offers on for the show, and being able to look at that floor plan and dot your path, should we say, and have a plan for the show. So it's plenty of time to get organised, and we are just so excited. As I said earlier on, it's a real circle moment of all of our hard work, blood, sweat and tears coming together. And there is no greater feeling. It's actually quite a bit emotional when we open those roller shutter doors and we welcome the thousands of visitors. You will often see me, Caroline, some of our other team standing at the front of the show in our blue Accountex t-shirts, and it is a full circle moment, and we're just so excited to welcome you all.
Amazing. And thank you so much for being a guest on our show as well. It's been absolutely brilliant. Still say 4 minutes 46 is a solid time there. So well done on playing our little game. And what you got planned for this week? Anything exciting?
I'm in Exeter for the whole week, visiting my Roots Growth office there, meeting all the team properly. One of the team's retiring, so taking them all out for lunch, for retirement lunch. I've got an open office evening on tomorrow night as well for the local businesses to come and meet us and ask questions and stuff. And then lots and lots going on as always.
Love that. Natasha says PQ Awards tonight. Good luck, everyone. Yes, good luck to everyone who is involved in the PQ Awards. Hopefully you have a fantastic night, and good luck to anyone who has been shortlisted. Again, Rachel, thank you so much for coming along. Our top tip, if you want to see what Accountex like, go and watch some of our grid walks of past events, and you'll get a real feel for the scale of it, right? Like the scale is absolutely out of this world. Any final words from you, Rachel, before we call it a day?
Just very excited to welcome everyone. So, thank you for your support. Thank you for having me this morning. I've loved every minute of it. And just will be in my blue Accountex t-shirt, front of the show, ready to welcome everyone. So look forward to seeing lots of friendly faces.
Can't wait. Brilliant. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you this time. Although we won't see you this time next week. Next week's will be a weird one. It's a bank holiday weekend. We're going to pre-record Star Wars special. How's that? Because it's May the 4th. So we'll provide something, and me and Jan will be back a week after, which is the week of Accountex, if I get my numbers right. I think it feels that way, doesn't it? It feels like it's going to be the week of Accountex, which is a scary thing to say out loud because that means that we are really that close to Accountex. So thank you, everybody. See you all next week or the week after, and bye for now. Cheers. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.